Don't look at me that way. I know. I woke up at 5 o'clock today. I drove 3 hours. This is my first cup of coffee, and I still haven't had breakfast. I swear this is the last one I'm buying. Nope. We didn't buy that one. We actually bought this one. I don't know. Great. Another piece of garbage. Yeah, it's true. This truck's not really becoming mine, but the parts truck that was used to bring this truck back to its pristine condition is now 100% mine. What does that mean? That means that there's going to be tons more Fj60 parts that you all have been asking about. So if you need something, please leave a comment below or email me and we'll see if we can find those parts for you. There is additional cool information that this truck right here is going online for sale. So also if you're interested in this truck, I can get you in contact with the gentleman that is selling it. Just send me an email, leave a comment below, and we'll be in touch. Appreciate you stopping by, and let's go get this parts truck. I'll tell you one thing, we certainly had to go real far up in the mountains to get this Landcruiser this time. Woo-wee. Man. I was told this Fj60 was at Nathan's house, actually his parents' house. So we just drove an hour from where I picked up the title. And he gave me some Google Map directions because there is no service out here. We are in the middle of the mountains, Amherst, Virginia. And you know what? Looks like it's right there. Well, let's find out why I drove an hour, paid some money for a car I've never seen. Let's find out together. Sir, that is a parts truck. There she is. So let's review what this truck actually is. So the gentleman, Nathan, that I bought this truck from has a pristine Fj60 that he's getting ready to sell, like I told you earlier. He took that truck to a shop near here several times, and one day one of the gentlemen came out to him and said, "Hey, we have one of those trucks too. Is that something that you'd be interested in?" Being a Landcruiser guy himself and knowing he needed a parts rig, he bought it. So after he got his truck up to pristine condition, he said he didn't need it anymore. He parked it at his parents' place an hour from where his home was, and I spoke to him and I was able to pick it up. This truck is an early Fj60. It's a 1981. That means no AC. All this stuff is kind of the first rendition. Transfer stick is a little different. It is stripped down, but it's got plenty of parts, so if you do need something, please reach out to me. Our goal here is put some doors on it, tow her out of this resting place, and get her back to classic motors. So we got a long day ahead of ourselves getting this old girl out of the Blue Ridge Mountains here. So follow me along, and we'll see you when we're pulling her out. So we're working on putting all the doors back on, which actually are in really great shape, except for this red one. I want it on there before the tow truck comes. Obviously don't want stuff flying out of this thing, so put her on. So let's take a look at some unusual things with this being an early Fj60 1981. So a couple things initially that I'm noticing is that, for the hood latch, that is most definitely different than in modern day 60s. Looks like the dash stuff is all the same. You are missing stuff here, and as you can see, that'd be the 4x4 light and the 4x4 like blank there. That's missing as well. So that's just a fastened seatbelt. Didn't come with a bezel, early bezel. I believe that Nathan used that for his truck. The dash is fairly nice, so that's good. Well, look, we got a couple mud flaps. We got about 3 of them. There's one here. I just pulled off one, so I didn't want it falling off on the tow truck. Tailgate's not terrible, but it's not great either. It might be able to be fixed, but who the heck knows. This upper hatch isn't bad either. Looks like all the lock cylinders are good so far. Here's your later style transfer case stick. Obviously the boots are a little different than the modern day 60s that you see, a little lower to the ground. Let's see here. Has no AC. So if you've been following the red truck, this is the piece that would come in there. It's an AC delete truck, so that's really cool to see. Look at these seat belts. Those are definitely not ones that I've seen before. Look like the ones from Seatbelt Planet. So anybody tell me, is that factory to these trucks? As well as the B pillar. Look at these things. Whoa. The good news, the bumpers seem to be awesome. Both of them. So let's go to the rear one. Those look great. Both bumper caps on both of them, solid. This one has a little bit of rust, but it might be able to be used for somebody. Another cool thing is I have one of the snake blinders, rocker trim, that's in here. If anybody's looking for one of those, I do in fact have one really nice one, so let me know on that.
Some people are drenched, freezing to death on a stupid boat with a stupid hat, while others are in a comfy news studio, sucking up all the glory. Oh well, no big deal.
Well, this old girl made it over to the shop yesterday, late last night. It was quite the battle getting her here. On the way home from the tow truck where this thing was parked, I got a flat in the car I was driving, so waited on the side of the road for about 4 hours. And then, as you'll see, some video footage, the tow truck driver couldn't pull this thing out. So we had to get the property owner to get their skid loader, pull it out for him, and then he finally loaded it. So it's here now. We're gonna put a tire on it so it doesn't have a flat anymore and it's rollable. And we'll try to get this thing started. No, I have a real high hopes that it will get started, as the previous owner told me it did run at some point. So let's get together and start putting the spare on. See if she had any vital signs. Got one light. So try to turn it over. Truck did not do very well. So we have a coil and igniter that I had to take from the tan truck out back because this one did not come with one. So we'll see if we can hook it up and get some spark and get her to turn over on starting fluid or something. Started. Nice. All right, so we got it to turn over one time. Started, sounded pretty good for a second. We're gonna do this again. Starting fluid. See what happens. Doesn't sound bad. She's got a sketchy gas tank right there. We're gonna see if we can get her to idle and not run on starting fluid now. Fuel in there. Dang it. So right now I'm replacing the starter on the parts truck. This is the old one. This is one off my parts Fj60. You can tell that this is the older style starter. It looks like the starter had just gone out. It stopped turning the whole motor, so I'm gonna put this one in, see if I can get it to turn. I'd love to see this thing move down the street a little bit today, at least to its final parking spot before we start pulling her apart. This is take 4 with the new starter. Okay, new development. We went ahead and put a electric fuel pump on small bottle here, just to see if we can get some gas up to the carburetor, which would be coming out right there, but there was no gas. So went ahead and started putting some compressed air through the hard line, and no air was coming out. So we moved it a little bit, and then the line broke. And in the line was tons of rust. So we went ahead and cut the line down, and we're gonna directly put it onto the carburetor and run the fuel pump that way. That also tells me that there's probably junk in the carburetor from that line being corroded. So we'll see what happens, see if we can get it to run on gasoline here. Got it to run on gas. It's running. Fuel pump. It's like a crazy science experiment. So we're gonna go ahead and try to move this thing to the back Landcruiser lot back here. I don't even know the last time this was moved. The closest thing I could find was that there's a sticker on it from 1999. So give or take, maybe like 21 years, it hasn't moved. So see if she'll move. Let's get this thing going. See if we can do this. Doesn't smoke too much. Can't run it too long because she's not running on water. Get out of here. All right. She's in her new resting place for now. Whew. got her to move. It took all day. That's a good sign. It means I might have a good motor for that other tan truck if you've been following the channel. All I gotta say, guys, if you like this type of stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, like and share these videos. It helps me keep motivated to keep on getting out here, pulling these things out of woods and getting them running. Cheers. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.